guys, and welcome back to our channel. So today's Q&A is going to be a little bit differently because I'm going to be doing a wrap with me, wrapping some of the kids' Christmas presents, which if you guys haven't seen yet, I did a video on everything that I'm getting the kids for Christmas. That link will be down below. A lot of you guys requested me to do a video on wrapping Christmas presents. I want to say I'm not the greatest at wrapping presents, but I mean, they're gonna be unwrapped and ripped apart in the end anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But until I started watching similar videos on YouTube, I was like, this is so satisfying to watch. So I wanted to add my own spin on it and answer questions as I'm wrapping up some of the kids' Christmas presents. And then I figured since a lot of you guys wanted to see like more of a wrap with me, I'll do like some music montages of me wrapping the presents. It is 9 o'clock at night. The only way that I'm gonna be able to get through this is with a cup of coffee. I guess that's the question I could answer. A lot of you wonder how I drink coffee while I'm pregnant. I do limit myself. When I'm not pregnant, I drink about 3 or 4 cups a day. So I've had to limit that to only 2 cups a day. So before I jump into the questions, I do have separate wrapping paper for each child. I love to pick different kinds so they know which one is there. So for Aria, she has, I don't know if you guys can see it, her wrapping paper has kitty cats on it. Harlow's has little sea animals like whales and jellyfish, starfish, and then Nolan's has dinosaurs. They've already seen their wrapping paper and know which one's theirs, but you know, I'll just remind them before they start opening presents which wrapping paper is theirs. I haven't looked at any of the questions yet, so I'm a little nervous, but I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me anything that you wanted, anything, and to not be shy. What's the worst present you have ever received but couldn't say you didn't love it? You know what the worst kind of presents are, in my opinion, and I can't specifically narrow like one gift, you know, down that was like the worst gift, but for me is clothes. There's a reason why I will not buy clothes for anybody. The only people that I buy clothes for is my kids and me. That's it. I don't buy clothes for anybody just because I'm super particular, and there's been times where people have picked out clothes and for one, some of them didn't fit, and for two, they were not my style at all. Okay, I realized I haven't even started wrapping yet. Keely says, should I buy a house next door to yours? Yes, you should, Keely. Actually, first, you need to move back to the Carolinas. No, there's no and, ifs, or buts about it. All right, this is a good question. Are you ever worried the kids would feel differently towards Scarlett being half siblings? Oh, I see another question by her. Or the other way around with Scarlett feeling the odd one out. So this is one thing that Frank and I, which one is this for? Aria. This is one thing that Frank and I have talked about before, is the kids feeling any differently. Frank treats the kids like his own, and honestly I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, honestly, that's all I could ask for, is that he does treat my children as his own. Obviously he's not their dad, he's not their biological dad, but on the other hand, Frank's never had kids before, and I don't know how he's gonna be when Scarlett gets here. I think the one bridge that we'll have to cross is obviously Scarlett will be calling Frank Daddy, and the kids call him Frank, of course. I don't know if that's something like Scarlett might get confused about, or I don't know. I really don't have any idea like how that's gonna turn out. I guess it's like one of those things like where we'll cross the bridge like I'm crossing this wrapping paper, cross the bridge when we get there. And another thing is, like, we just want to be open with the kids. Obviously if they're upset by something or feeling a certain kind of way about something, I would obviously want them to come talk to us, or if we're seeing signs or noticing things, you know, we'll have a discussion with them. You guys are gonna see me struggle so hard right now. Obviously Scarlett's not here, so it's really easy for me to say that. I really don't know how it's gonna be when she gets here. If you guys have any advice, definitely leave it down below. My wrapping job wasn't that bad. So Rachel asked, how is your 4th pregnancy affecting your body? I will say on the plus side with this pregnancy, I feel a lot healthier than I have in the past. My weight gain has been pretty good this pregnancy. The only downside is that it is my 4th pregnancy. Definitely feel it on my body. I think that's why at 20 weeks I was like, I'm just ready for this pregnancy to be over with. I feel like I've been in a lot more pain this pregnancy. I've had a lot more round ligament pain. My back has been hurting, which usually my back never hurts during pregnancy. I'm also tired a lot more, but that could be because I have 3 kids. I can definitely feel it in my body. I can definitely feel that this pregnancy is doing a number to my body. And then I think just constantly being on my feet all day, that does a number to my body as well. But at the same time, I am always active, so I feel like I'm still in shape, even though I don't really work out. I mean, I'm not in shape, but I feel in shape at the same time for being this pregnant. You guys, I just did a fail. Look, I cut it way too short. I think I'm gonna still make it work. I could put like a line, right? I could put like a piece of wrapping paper. I might have to do that. What was my initial reaction when I found out I was pregnant with Scarlett? Oh my gosh, my initial reaction. Should I tell you guys my initial reaction? I said to ask me anything, right? So this pregnancy, I would definitely say, is probably the most unexpected pregnancy out of all of them, including Aria's. Even with Aria, even though I was on birth control, I was still always paranoid that I was gonna get pregnant. And I lost the tape. Oh my gosh, I am a hot mess. Where did the tape go? But this pregnancy was definitely a huge surprise. I know a lot of people are like, this is your 4th pregnancy, you don't know what birth control is. You can still get pregnant with birth control. Just remember that. Different kind of methods, you can still get, there are many methods of birth control and you can still get pregnant on them. So my initial reaction, well, that morning something was telling me to take a test, which is really odd because the day before I had a doctor's appointment and they asked me, is there any way that I can be pregnant? And I straight up told them, no, there's no way. So when I taken the test, I was fully expecting it to be negative, and then I kind of forgot about it for a little bit too. I like took it and kind of left it alone, and then I came back and then saw the really faint line. I was just like, no, like how did this happen? Like how the heck did this happen? Well, obviously I know how it happened. At the same time, I was like, how the heck did this happen? So I was very shocked. I was very surprised. You know, usually people might wait until their boyfriend or husband gets home to tell them. I immediately texted Frank and was like, because he wasn't here, I was like, I'm pregnant. And like, I just didn't even know how to react after that. Frank's reaction was probably a lot better than mine. I'll say that. So I've touched on this recently, but I'm seeing a lot of the same questions, and usually if I see the same question, I want to answer it. A lot of people are asking about how my relationship is with Ian. Honestly, there's no, how do I word this? There's no relationship, really no relationship at all besides co-parenting. Like honestly, it is strictly co-parenting. But I will say this, not every co-parenting relationship is going to be a good one. A lot of things can change once you go through a divorce or go through a breakup, especially with kids involved. It's kind of those things you just have to make the best of it as you can right now. Hope for the best, but expect the worst at the same time. I will say I'm very thankful that we do co-parent pretty well, and for the sake of the kids, you know, we've agreed on a lot of things, and I'm really grateful for that, because at the end of the day, I want what's best for the kids, and you know, what's going to be best for their future and what's best for them right now. I don't want them to ever feel like, you know, we're not getting along or we're not being civil with each other. So I will say that's one thing that we really do, is that we try to be as civil as we can for the sake of the kids, and especially when we're around the kids together as well, which is the only time we're around each other is pick up and drop off. Like I said, it's mainly just strictly co-parenting. So this is another good question. What are you most excited to do or for in the new house? Honestly, everything. I'm just so excited for everything. I think just being able to have a place called home and have a place that feels like home and that's ours is gonna be amazing. I am so excited about that. I think honest, okay, this might sound cheesy, but just like all the memories that we're gonna have in that house. For example, bringing Scarlett home from the hospital, having birthdays, Christmas, and holidays, and then just seeing the kids grow up in that house is what I'm really most excited for. And then of course decorating, because that's like one of the things that I love to do the most. good question that I've actually gotten a lot and I've just never answered it is, were you planning to build a home before Frank came into the picture, or did it come once he came in? It got cut off, but I'm assuming like once he came in the picture. So building a house, no, that was definitely not in my plan, but buying a house was in my plan. I definitely wanted to buy a house, but then of course I got my own apartment, and I could have bought a house if I wanted to. The only reason why I didn't is because I didn't even know what it was like to live on my own with kids and then be able to jump right into being a homeowner with kids. As a single mom, it was really scary and intimidating for me. So at that point, it was out of the question. I could have done it, but it was just really, really scary. So then when Frank came into the picture and things moved really fast with us, and after finding out I was pregnant, that's when we started looking into houses and building. We had like pinpointed a neighborhood that we really liked, and they had like houses that were ready to move in, or you had the option of building as well. And we kind of got sold into building a house because, you know, you do get to pick everything you want for the house. It is brand new. Of course, there are cons to building a house as well. Of course, in the end, we decided to build. So did I always want to build? No, but I did want to be a homeowner. And I don't even know if I mentioned this. My unrealistic goal, by the way, was to own a house by the age of 25. I've had that goal for years now. Do you ever wish your life was not so public? Honestly, there are some times where I wish my life wasn't so public, or I didn't make things so public. But at the same time, I have learned a lot with sharing my life on the internet. It's definitely not easy by any means, and it's not cut out for everybody. Some days I don't even think it's cut out for me, if I'm being completely honest. I still feel super blessed and grateful to have found YouTube in the first place, because like I said, it has taught me so much. It has taught me that I can have a group. All right, so the camera died, but like I was saying, it has taught me that I can have so much support from people and be a supportive person for other people as well, and just to have a platform to be able to inspire other people. Even though when people tell me that I inspire them, it still doesn't really fully hit me. I'm just like, how can I be inspiring to people? I'm just sharing my life, just being regular old me, but I've had so many people tell me that I've changed so much for them in their lives. So it's definitely taught me that. It has taught me to have thicker skin, and I probably learned to have the thickest skin this year alone. And then number 3, it's taught me a lot of useful skills. I know a lot of people think that YouTubers just like edit a video, put it up, you know, upload it, and you know, it's just put together in a matter of minutes, when there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. It's taught me how to edit, which could be useful for so many different things, so many different jobs. It's taught me so much about social marketing, talking with brands. It's opened so many doors for me and so many opportunities that I am so grateful for. There are times where I wish my life wasn't so public and, you know, I could be private, but I've learned that the pros definitely outweigh the cons. There's definitely way more positives than there are negatives when it comes to sharing your life on YouTube. So surprisingly, I've done pretty well. I've wrapped 4 presents. Almost 5. But I'm gonna answer one more question for you guys, and you guys had a lot of good questions. So this is gonna be the last one, and it's a good one. How come we never get to see any of Frank's family? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm still personally getting to know Frank's family, and they're getting to know me as well. They know about YouTube, and I know some of them watch my videos and are watching me right now, which is so weird, but also really cool at the same time because it shows that they are supportive. So the main reason why is I think it's just still fresh and new, that it's kind of awkward to, you know, just have a camera around or to put a camera in somebody's face, especially if you don't know if they want to be filmed or not. Even if somebody's supportive of, you know, YouTube, they might not want a lot of people to see them, which is totally understandable. I mean, there's some people that are in my family that just don't want to be on camera at all, so I just don't film them at all. That could change in the future, you never know, but as far as right now, since it's still like such a fresh and new relationship and just still getting to know each other. I just don't want to have a camera in somebody's face, if that makes sense. So maybe one day, but I think a lot of people can understand that. But on the other hand, there's been times where, for example, some of Frank's friends, like, we've asked if it's okay to film them. They're like, heck yeah, that's okay, that's totally fine with me. I think just more people are more open to it than others, and that's totally understandable. I would never force anybody to be on camera or ever film them without them knowing and then upload it. I don't know, that just seems a little weird to me, but maybe one day. All right, guys, I feel like I got somewhat of the wrapping accomplished. I'm working on this one. I have one more to do. Of course, I have way more presents to wrap, but at least I was able to answer a lot of your questions. I'm definitely going to be answering some more because a lot of you had really good questions on Instagram. But definitely give me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye, guys.